if you care more about your little short-term emotions than your long-term outcomes, I think that person's really in trouble. But if you could focus on those long-term outcomes and then remind yourself when you have a little emotion, like, I don't feel like it. Everybody has those thoughts. Some days I don't feel like it. Then I just laugh and think, well, the success gods don't care about my feelings.
I'm thinking over here as a fighting business. It's fight day, and I don't feel like fighting.
Yeah.
What? It's like, wake up, you gotta fight. This is a fight day. There's no such thing. I don't feel like it today. I don't feel good. Can we postpone it until tomorrow? No.
Yeah.
You gotta get up and fight today.
If you don't have $1 million yet, you're living a much lesser life than what could be easily available to you with the right guidance. My head coach has freed up a few spots in his calendar to hold one-on-one strategy calls with the highest quality applicants. If you're doing well already and you're looking to accelerate your momentum and do even better, click the link in the description now and apply for your strategy session. More at the end of this video.
How's it going?
Why are you bullying me?
This guy bullies me hours a day when he comes to visit. He tried to pin me down and slap me in the face.
Look at my
Talk all kinds
size.
of crazy
Look at
shit.
his size. Look at that. It's like, nope.
He'd been training 50 years longer than I was, more than that. So for those who don't know, this is the homie Royce Gracie. Royce Gracie is the first inductee to the UFC Hall of Fame, first UFC champion, second UFC champion. Well, you defended your title, so you can't even say second, but you won the first tournament, second tournament, fourth tournament.
Back in the day when it was a tournament,
Yeah.
not a single fight. They had to fight 3 to 4 fights in one night.
Yeah.
No gloves, no time limit, no weight division, no rules.
Yeah, so and try to fit that in your head, folks. So, today, 30 years later, Royce's original UFC debut was November 1993. And 30 years later, there's still only about 100 UFC champions ever. So he was the first. And at that time, it wasn't that you had a well-known opponent that you could look at their tape and study their movements and study their the history of what they've done in terms of the style of fighting, et cetera, et cetera. This is, before the internet. This is where they'd have three fights per night, 4 fights per night to win one of those tournaments. So you had to go fight men that were, significantly larger than you. Most of them were bigger.
So it was pretty much walking blind. I mean, we knew I was going to fight a sumo wrestler or a kickboxer. I knew the name. We saw pictures, but that was it. There was not much footage like there is today to study the opponent. So, yeah, it was walking blind and having to figure it out.
So what was the largest man that you ever fought?
Akibono, 6'8", 490 pounds.
You were weighing about 180?
About 180, 182. But again, my strength is right here.
So, I think, there's a reason that you and I have been around several other UFC champions together, and you've been around everybody. There's a reason that even the current champions or champions that came after you have such respect for what you did and being a pioneer in that sport. And there's really an element of bravery that you were showcasing, or that you embodied, that kind of doesn't exist anymore. It's turned into a more normalized sport. Which is still very dangerous, and I have a lot of respect for the fighters. I train with them. I learn from them. They're very hardworking, mostly very, very smart people. But when you were doing this, at the beginnings of your career or your visible career with the world, there's really a large element of bravery there as well. That you don't know what the hell you're walking into exactly. You're just going to go see how it goes.
I have no idea what my father and my brothers were thinking when they put me in. But again, yes, I had technique. I trust the technique. I trust what I learned from them, but it was like I was not fighting to win. I was fighting not to lose. So if I don't lose, the question is how I'm gonna win. That's what my father used to say. Don't walk in there and try to beat your opponents. Don't lose to them. If you don't lose, the question is how you go. So you have to play a good defense. The defense have to be perfect. So I didn't fight to win. I fought not to lose.
So is part of that strategy is letting them tire themselves out a bit and then, expose themselves, create vulnerabilities that you could then take advantage of?
I would win when they lose, not when I want to win. So we're going to play the game forever until he makes a mistake. That's when I score. That's when I win. But on the beginning, it was like a style against a style. Today, all the stand-up fighters learn how to grapple, and all the grapplers learn how to stand up. So it changed a bit. It's not a style against a style anymore. Now it's the athlete who is better prepared, who have the best strategy, who can cut weight better without exhausting themselves. Because everything counts now. In the beginning, there was no weight division, so you can fight somebody 200, 300, 400 pounds, no problem. You see, but then it was a style against a style. That's the difference.
How much time were you training? You start training basically as a child, as a small child. You were crawling on the mats, and you just grew up in that environment. That's my understanding. Is that right?
I would say training. I would say that was a playground. We were playing, learning martial art, jiu-jitsu. So that was a playground. My father didn't teach us how to fight. He taught us how to teach. Fighting was just for the fun of it. You got nothing else better to do, might as well let's go pick a fight.
How important? I know the answer, but I'm kind of asking for them. Obviously, is how important was your father's role in your life to, your way of thinking and the skills you developed and how your life's turned out so far?
I always say I'm a product of my father's work. So everything I know, I learned from him. So sometimes as a parent, as a joke, he'll go, you made a mistake. I was like, oh, Dad, hold on. I learned from you. I made a mistake, it's your fault. You and Mom's. So, get out of here. It's like, but yes, I'm a product of my father's work. So, and I listened to his strategy game. He was way ahead of his time on the strategy, like being smaller. You can't fight, try to beat your opponent. You play defense, you frustrate your opponent, you don't lose. If you don't lose, the question is how you gonna win? When do you win? When he makes a mistake, not when you wanna win. Because then I'll have to force the win. If I have to force, I expose myself. And since we didn't have the power to fight somebody bigger and stronger, we have to use this. So,
what was his training style like when he's preparing you for these UFC fights, years ago, or before then? Maybe you had other contests you were involved in before then. But what was that training like?
My father's training for a fight used to be teaching classes, private classes all day long, 20 minutes private class. Every 20 minutes, there's a new student coming in. That was his training for a fight. So a lot of endurance right there. Starts 6 o'clock in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, it doesn't finish until 8, 9 o'clock at night. It would save 20 minutes, he would skip 20 minutes out of the day to go eat lunch. And you go through all day teaching privates. So it's a lot of endurance and repetition, repeat, do it again. Every student have to do the same moves and different moves, but repeating the moves all day long. That was his training for a fight. On the end of the day, he would spar, he would roll 10, 20 minutes. That was his training. And of course, with the evolve of the training and Yes, when I got here, I started to lift weights and running, but I work a lot of endurance for my fights. A lot of endurance. I can't match power with the other guys. I don't want to. There's always going to be somebody stronger than me, and heavier and bigger, so I can rely on strength. So I'll go for the endurance.
A question that sometimes they enjoy is the live events that started happening, and now I do it here too. So, they're accustomed to seeing me as the teacher or the coach of these programs and helping them solve their problems in life. What are your observations of Derek as the student when I'm learning from you, learning about jiu-jitsu or our training together? What are your observations of my thought processes or the way that I am versus other students you've had?
Everybody's different. Every student is different. Have a different way to process the learning process. But I don't believe in good student or bad student. There's good teachers and bad teachers. So the way I look at it, my father used to say the same thing, my brothers, if you don't learn, it's the teacher's fault. So I'm here to teach. You see, it's one way or the other. I got to figure out how to get inside the student's head and make him learn. You process one way, but somebody else might process totally different way. So somebody else, a third person, will be a totally different way to explain the same move. But the teacher, as a teacher, it's my fault if you don't learn. That's how I look at it.
I've been thinking that. It's your fault I don't have.
So that's why you're such a good student. It's not because you're good, because I'm good. I'll take the credit.
Think of all the people I've asked that question to, and you see the way that he perverted that to compliment himself.
But it's very easy to say, oh, this student's no good. I hear that a lot. Teachers come up to me, it's like, oh man, this guy is no good. He can't learn. And hold on, it's very easy to teach a professional athlete. He's like a Ferrari already. How hard it is to make that Ferrari go fast. Now give me a Volkswagen and I'll make that Volkswagen race the Ferrari. That's the challenge. I love that challenge. So it's to teach somebody that's an athlete already, it's easy. But get somebody that's totally non-athlete and be able to make that person defend themselves, that's a challenge right there. That makes a good teacher. It's very easy for the guys to teach. I can teach anybody that's good, as long as the guy's good. If he's willing to learn, if he show up to class, it's my job to teach.
I have similar thoughts. The way that I run these courses, and they can't just go click a link and buy the course and they're in the course. They have to. There's an interview process. They have to be able to explain, why is it important that they want to work with me? Why do they want to learn from me? And if they can't answer that, there's no reason for them to be there. If they don't know why it's important to work with you or to work with me, what the hell are they doing there?
They want to learn without showing up.
Yeah,
There's nothing I can do about it.
we don't do that.
There's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, we don't do
As
that.
long as you show up to class and listen, yes.
If they don't show up, we just throw them out. And I say that very clear in the terms and conditions. Terms and conditions are not like, so it's not 150 pages. It's one sheet of paper, two sides, one sheet of paper. And it says about 4 times in there that you're committing that you're going to do the work. You realize there's going to be no refund. We expect you to do the work. If you don't do the work, there's no refund. And by week 3 or 4, we throw a few people out every time. A few of them quit on themselves. A few 80% finish, 85% they'll finish because we did a good job screening on the front end. They know the expectation.
But when they finish, they know the subject.
They're doing good. They're doing
Yes. So if they don't know the subject, then the fault is the teacher, I would say. But if they finish and they know the subject, then the teacher was good.
You know, my favorite way to make sure that nobody finishes the class and they don't know the shit. So I don't want somebody to go through the class. You don't want somebody to have a black belt from Hoist Gracie and he doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
Doesn't know, yes.
I don't want somebody to go through these classes and they don't know what the hell they're doing. So I just throw them out. I say, oh, you didn't want to do the homework. You didn't show up to the accountability call. You couldn't be bothered to show up to the call or do the work. So, okay, bye. You don't need my help to be a loser. You don't need my help to be middle class. They could be middle class by themselves. They come to me, they say they want to be a millionaire, a multi-millionaire. $1 million is not what it used to be, you know? $1 million, in the last 3 years, you have 15% inflation. So, you got to have, $1.2 million to be able to purchase what $1 million used to purchase. And, you got to make a lot of money if you want to have a comfortable life going forward, because there's going to be more inflation. Inflation is going to be higher in the future than it was in the past. There's going to be more inflation. So anyway, if somebody comes here and says, I want to make millions of dollars, I want to do this or that, that all sounds good. But if you can't work 25, 30 hours a week, you can't.
If you don't show up for the class, how can he graduate? It's the same thing. I have a course that I teach the guys how to teach.
Mm-hmm.
So I send them, I don't teach that, I send them to those 2 of my guys that teach that.
Mm-hmm.
And some people just come over and goes, yeah, I just need to show up. No, you need to do the homework. You need to teach the class. You need to present the program. Because if you don't, sorry, man, you're going to show up, but you're not going to graduate.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of people that have to come back 2-3 times to graduate on the course. It's not just, I'm going to show up, and get my diploma. No, it doesn't work that way.
They get fussy about it sometimes.
Nope.
No, yeah.
They're going to be, my business, they can't be fuss about it. How are they going to be fuss about it? You got to do it. If you don't do it, sorry.
Yeah. I like running things that way. I like that I had the independence when I built this business that, I don't want just anybody. I want the right type of clients. I want clients that they're serious about their success. They're serious about it, achieving goals. And I think if a person's not, if you care more about your little short-term emotions than your long-term outcomes, I think that person's really in trouble. But if you could focus on those long-term outcomes and then remind yourself when you have a little emotion, like, I don't feel like it, I don't want to. Everybody has those thoughts. Some days I don't feel like it. Then I just laugh and think, well, the success gods don't care about my feelings.
I'm thinking over here as a fighting business. It's fight day, and I don't feel like fighting.
Yeah.
What? It's like, wake up, you gotta fight. This is a fight day. There's no such thing. I don't feel like it today. I don't feel good. Can we postpone it until tomorrow? No.
Yeah.
You gotta get up and fight today.
I don't feel like the stock market today. Oh, okay, but the world moves on, You're going to be a part of it and participate and understand what's happening, or
I'll just say earlier, I heard you saying something like money doesn't sleep.
Yeah, money doesn't. You take $100 bill out of your wallet, you look, there's Ben Franklin on the $100 bill. You ever see him there looking tired? He's ready. He's not tired. He's not tired. Ben Franklin's ready. He's ready at all times. We were just lifting weights in the gym over there when we were lifting weights. I have a marble statue of Ben Franklin. As one of the busts over there is Benjamin Franklin, and he's ready. He's ready for whatever. That guy was an inventor. He's an entrepreneur. He's a wonderful guy. This idea, money doesn't sleep. Money doesn't care. The money is very neutral. It doesn't care who it goes to. It's going to go to whoever earned that spot. And then you see Khabib say this. The fighter. If he finished his career 29-0, maybe he'll come back someday. We'll see. But Khabib, he's talking to his guys. He's training some guys. He's coaching them. And the guy is doing an interview and saying, well, what if they don't feel like doing this hard work? He's like, it doesn't matter. It's like, somebody's going to be champion. Somebody's going to be champion. Nobody cares who.
Somebody's putting the work.
Yeah. No one cares who, but the person that puts in the work that earns that spot the best is likely to be the champion. So he says, like, he's not trying to convince them that they should be champion. They come to him and say they want to be world champion. They want to be the best in the world at something. Somebody's going to be champion with them or without them. Nobody cares if they go home and go to sleep. Go to sleep. Nobody cares.
If you don't feel like getting up to train, that's fine.
Yeah, go be bored.
Somebody's gonna be training. Don't feel like it. There's no such a thing. I don't feel motivated.
I don't care about motivation.
Sometimes I don't understand that either. It's like people's like, yeah, I don't feel motivated to go for a run or to work out, or what motivation do I need? I enjoy every minute of it.
I didn't feel motivated to lift the weights today, but you still see, and I went and I did the weights. I did the weights.
Do you feel motivated to wake up in the middle of the night and go check the stock market?
No, I just do it.
You just do it. So what motivation do you need? It's like, I don't understand that sometimes when people say that.
There's some days I wake up and I'm excited and I'm ready. I'm going to go get shit done. Usually I'm in a mood like this. You've been around me many times, and my moods are pretty damn stable, pretty much the same all the time. Things are going good, things are going bad, I'm pretty much in the same mood. And I don't give a shit about my motivation. You need to be disciplined when you're not motivated.
The way I look at it is we're creatures of habit. Like you create your habit of your sleeping pattern. That's you. You sleep X amount of hours, wake up in the middle of the night, go check the stock market, do your business, sleep again a few hours, and then wake up again in the middle of the night again, take care of business. We're creatures of habit. You create that habit, it becomes easy. There's no need for I need to be motivated to go. I create the habit of every morning I wake up and go for a run. 1 mile, 4 miles, 6 miles, lift a little bit of weight. I don't lift as much weight as you, so I'm not that strong. But I lift a little bit, but he lifts the whole rack. But you see, but it's the habit. We're creatures of habit. You gotta create the right habit. Instead, you create the habit of, I need to be motivated to do something. Whatever you're doing, it's like, nah.
Yeah. What do you think about these people that they want to wait for everything to be perfect before they take action? You understand what I'm saying? So they want everything to be perfect, and then they'll do the thing. And I never seen a perfect day.
It's not gonna be. Never. There's always ups and downs. You can never wait for the right day, for the right moment, it's like you waiting for the right moment of the stock market to invest. No, sometimes you gotta go chasing. You can't just be waiting, sitting down waiting. You can't wait.
You watch this video all the way through, and that tells me you're dedicated to learning more and earning far above average outcomes in your life. Congratulations for that. But now it's time to take action. If you could have earned those results by yourself, you would have done it already. My head coach has opened up a few spots on his high-demand calendar for an in-person, one-on-one strategy session to help you. On this call, we'll give you the pragmatic advice that you can implement tonight to get laser-focused on the right metrics and leave mediocrity far behind in your past. Click that link right now in the description below and apply for your call immediately. Do it now.